Hello and welcome to Elevated Intuition. I'm Amy and this is where we're going to talk about scripting. So I have this scripting technique that I've been using for 20 years and it is a little bit different than what I've seen out there. I used it to manifest things, jobs, better relationships. I use it to deal with difficult people. In my work life, I have dealt with a lot of difficult people and some people who are just really their personality type is really almost irrational and very difficult to speak to. You can use a scripting technique to kind of take it to their manager. And I say that because what you're going to do is write to their angel or write to their higher self. I originally came across this technique 20 years ago in this book. It's called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. This is written by Catherine Ponder. When did she start writing these things? This was written in like 1967. And she comes at these from a very Christian perspective, just to let you know. Although it doesn't matter. It's not, her church is non-denominational Christian, but it doesn't have to, you don't have to believe in any of that. You don't have to be Christian. You don't have to be, you just have to believe in angels and higher selves because we are going to write to your person's angel. So let's talk about the type of people or the type of situations that this works in. Coworker that you just have like this really terrible relationship with for whatever reason, that you just you do passive aggressive things, both of you on both sides, and it's just it's interfering with your job, and you just would really like it to stop, and you just really want to just do the work. Works in this situation. It works in a situation with somebody who has like this crazy high ego, and you need something from them. They don't want to do it. They dismiss you because, like, again, they have this high ego. I used to work with surgeons. I worked with business owners. I worked in the fashion industry. So I worked with people with high egos. This works for that. This works for people that you don't even know. So you are going into a job interview and you want to nail this job interview and you kind of want to set the tone, but you don't even know who you're meeting with. You can write to the angel of the hiring manager for the job that you're going for. This is really great for people who are non-confrontational. Maybe, a lot of times people who are a little bit more belligerent have like the higher hand in confrontations or negotiations because they're willing to go in there and ask for things. Where somebody who's a little bit shy or introverted or is non-confrontational, it's hard for them to ask for things. This technique is really powerful for that because you can do it on your own time, you can do it quietly, and it helps you then shift into like a little bit more of aggressive vibration to get what you want. Is this for family members, estranged family members, or friends? If you have a family member and you just really want a resolution to an issue, you haven't talked to them in years, you may not even have their phone number, you don't know how to contact them, but you want to just, whatever happened in the past, let it go. This works great for that. If you're doing some shadow work and you realize like all of a sudden you feel guilty about something that you did in your 20s and you just want to tell your friends that you're sorry, this works great for that too. Oh, I've known somebody who's done this in like in a friend zone situation where they have wanted like a little bit more out of the relationship than their other person like hinted or wanted. And what's really powerful about that is writing it down and putting that writing it down 15 times creates that shift and helps them be seen more as like boyfriend material instead of just a friend. This works for people that you don't know and you've never met. I've done this before where I have written to the angel of a friend of mine's boss. because my friend was concerned that she wasn't going to get this promotion or she wasn't going to get a pay raise because she didn't think that her boss valued her. So those are the types of people, somebody that you just can't communicate with for whatever reason. So how do we do it? Now that we know who we write to, how do we write it? I have a sample letter here, and it's pretty simple. You kind of want to keep it short and sweet and to the point, and I'll explain a little bit more why in a sec. So mine is like, you start it off with "to the angel of," and then you put your person's name in there. So our hypothetical person today is Robert Smith. So "to the angel of Robert Smith, I bless you and I thank you for your help. Please let Robert know that I wish our relationship to be beneficial and productive moving forward. And I would like for both of us to let go of any animosity and move forward and be productive teammates." So in this perspective, I wrote it about, and I've done this before, I wrote it about a coworker that you have a difficult issue with, that for whatever reason, things are just not working, that they are making things more difficult than it needs to be. Maybe you have in the past, maybe you've done some passive aggressive things to each other and you just want to let that go. So you write to their angel, you put their name in there, and you write it from a very high perspective. Because understand that when you're writing to somebody's angel or to their higher self, that they love this person. So Robert Smith's angel, for whatever I think about Robert Smith's angel, Robert Smith's higher self, absolutely loves Robert Smith. So I can't go in here and say, "Hey, Robert Smith's angel, your person is a jerk, stop it." That's not going to help your situation. So this whole process helps in what I think two ways. And Catherine doesn't talk about this because she only gave it 1 page in her book. But from 20 years of doing this, I have realized that as you start writing these things, or as you start thinking about these things that you want to change, that there's a shift that occurs in you. So let's say that there are no angels, that this angel doesn't even get this message ever. What is really powerful is the shift that happens in you so that you are able to go on and make this happen, to manifest this better relationship. You can write this to your boss and say, "Hey, I am a valuable person. I deserve a raise." Write that. And then once you're done with this letter, you will feel it in your core and you will go out and be at that higher vibration and live it. And magically, not so magically, you'll probably get a raise. So once you have your script, and like I said, this is probably as long as I would want to make it, a couple lines here, because then you're supposed to write it 15 times. The reason for that, let's see, Catherine Ponder has a reason. So 15 times because the ancients believed in using the number 15 to break up and dissolve hard conditions. Who am I to argue with ancients? But I also feel like when you write it 15 times, that really helps solidify it within yourself and it helps you shift to that higher vibration. So we know who we're writing that letter to. We know kind of what our letter is going to be about. We're writing it 15 times. Now what? In Catherine Ponder's book, she doesn't let the person know that you wrote it at all. This is kind of like your secret between you and their angel. What I like to do is I like to burn it. A little bit of pyromaniac here, but the process of burning it is kind of like releasing it and letting it go to the universe. Kind of like just, it's no longer your problem, it's no longer your issue, it's no longer your worry. You let that up and out into the universe. So that's what I like to do at the end. So I think this is really powerful. I hope this is really helpful. If you're interested in more scripting techniques, there was a really great video by Silvana Candela, and I'll link that down below. Silvana is a healer that she's actually an acupuncturist and a healer, and she's done work for me. And now she has a YouTube channel that is really great. She also has a book, so I'll link that because her scripting techniques are really cool. And let me know in the comments, you know, what you're writing for, the kind of text that you're using. And again, I'll have some sample text in the description to kind of help you out and move forward. So have a great day. And please like and subscribe if these are the kinds of videos that you're interested in.